So now, let us bring back Second Shot and our guest musician, Peter Kirkland, with the beautiful sound that wakens my heart every time I hear him. So thank you.
Have you ever been so far down you couldn't keep your head above ground? Every day seems like it might do your head. Spirit's drawn to you like moths to a flame, and nothing has changed. Somehow it's not the same. Oh Lord, it's not the same. I keep on praying for another day, and the sun will shine, and peace I'll find. Long before dark clouds and sun clouds pass by. I can't help but wonder how I got to this place, and nothing has changed, but somehow it's not the same. Oh Lord, it's not the same. It's not the same since I've got spirit. I'm not the same man at all. Trying so hard just to pick myself from the fall. Every day, every day. Can't help but wonder how I got to this place, and nothing has changed, but somehow, oh, nothing has changed, but somehow, oh, nothing has changed, but somehow. I keep searching, but it's never gonna be the same. And it's never gonna be the same.
Pete Kirkland, Second Shot. It's my pleasure now to introduce our guest speaker today, Reverend Harriet G. Walden. Reverend Walden is an independent, New Thought minister and licensed facilitator of the Virtues Project. She is a reverend, lifelong activist in the Black community, and one of her principal activities is having founded Mothers for Police Accountability an organization that has successfully influenced police reform legislation in Seattle and statewide. We are delighted to have Reverend Walden with us today. Please help me welcome her to the stage.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy New Year. You all can say happy birthday. It was January 4th, but since I'm a birthday person, I celebrate all the time. So, how's that? Yes. I'm an after Christmas baby, so don't give me the Christmas gift and say it's the birthday gift. You might be in trouble. And as an only child, now that I've raised all my children, I get to be an only child again. So all the gifts are for me. Is that right? Wow. Well, thank you for the invitation and for being here this morning. And I want to thank the great Creator for getting me here. I had been in the Seattle area for 46 years, raised my children, had a business where I was on the road, drove 45,000 miles a year in the Puget Sound area to deliver eyeglasses, so it's a licensed optician. And so I have the great pleasure of having two places on the planet that my GPS, my natural GPS, doesn't work. It's Renton and Bellevue. I can go across country without a map and never get lost. So, needless to say, what I was going to talk about today has actually evaporated because I had such an adventure getting here. Have anyone ever had an adventure? Oh, yeah. You know, they come up unexpectedly, don't they? And they grab our attention, and all of a sudden you are really in the now. I mean, even if you weren't in the now, well, you find yourself in the now moment. My talk was and is about a now moment, but it was a now moment that I was making up for another moment. So I don't have to make it up now. I'm in the real now moment. She was in being a prepared Capricorn, as we all know. They are the most prepared people on the planet. I left my house at 8 o'clock. Actually before 8, because I was always taught to be on time, on time. And by the way, I got the award all of my time in school for being never being tardy and always most dependable. So I carried that as an arrogance. But today, in this new now, I felt like I was trying to come from Spokane. And we know what the weather is like here right now. Is the paths closed down? All the paths in Washington State is closed down. You can only get here from there by airplane if you're going to Spokane, okay? And that's if they're flying, right? Because all the people who came out this way for Christmas had a what? An adventure. Well, it did. It was unexpected and it was in the now. Right? And it's like, oh my goodness. So I felt like I came from Spokane, but actually I just came from the Central District of Seattle. Yeah. But it felt very unusual for me to not to be able to be on time. I like to be on time so I can see people, and I always see somebody I know. I know Kyle from someplace else. There might be somebody else here who knows me too from someplace else. So, one thing about a new year outside of my birthday, is that it gives us such an opportunity to have some gladness. Because we're leaving a year behind. And a lot of times, some of us has known COVID has taken a lot of people who passed on. And we know that it left a lot of sadness. Because some people have been married like many, many years, and they were not able to say goodbye as their spouse moved on to the, as Michael Beckwith called it, life beyond life. So as we come into a new year, and we're all excited, you know, and remember, they always show the little baby at New Year's, and then at the end of the year, they show somebody really dragging. So, you know, so with all of that goes, we all got so much possibility right now. And you know one thing about possibility, we always have possibility. But sometimes we don't remember we have possibility as we get ourselves involved with what's happening in our lives, in our children's lives, and if you're a grandmother in your grandchildren's lives. And sometimes mothers always want to be in everybody's lives. Is that right? Any mothers in here still in their children's lives? I am, what to say, you know. I'm still hands-on, what do you say? And then be careful what they post on Facebook, because you know what? Who's reading it? Their mama read their page every day, you know? I must not have too much to do, right? And then I go to the page before I go to bed and say a prayer for them. You know, I'm a weaver, so I just tell you that at all when I speak, I'm a weaver. So that means that I go grab up the information and bring it in. But my grandmother taught me when I was 7 years old to be an intercessor, to pray for other people. So I spent a lifetime praying for other people. So therefore, I'd go and pray for people at night, in the morning, in the noontime. And one of the reasons why I always like to mention prayer, no matter where I am, is because when I went to my 30th class reunion, my neighbor said she'd been praying for me for 30 years. I'd been out of high school 30 years at that time. And she said I was such a manable child, and I was such a beautiful child that she prayed for me every day. And I said, wow, no wonder every time I fell down, I couldn't do nothing but bounce back up. Because somebody was praying for me. And if you come out of the Black experience, you know what that means. Because somebody is always praying for you. And so I spent a lifetime of doing that for other people. And most times the scriptures say you pray in your closet. And you know, but then sometimes people never know. I never knew that somebody loved me so much, little Harriet, that they prayed for me every day for 30 years. She said she never thought she'd see me this side of heaven. But she thought enough for me to pray for me every day. So if that registers any place in your heart, you just get your prayer list, get your list out and start writing names. People that you know, people that you might need to forgive or ask for forgiveness from. Forgiveness goes both ways, right? And so, and start that also in the new year. And just see, and one more thing I'll say about this, about prayer before I move on, but my neighbor, my great friend, who's pastor, who's in spirit now, her daughter, she lived on Mercer Island at that time, her daughter was in a head-on collision on Mercer Island, was at I-90, many years ago. And she didn't get a scratch on her. And I told her, I said, well, Helen, I pray for your family every day. She said, honey, I knew somebody had to be praying for my daughter. She got out of that accident without even a scratch on her. So as practitioners know, they spend a lifetime of prayer. That's what they do. You know what I mean? I think most people who go and become a practitioner must have started praying when they were like this. Praying for other people, and all of a sudden they realize, oh my goodness, there's a place I can spend the rest of my life praying for other people. And then they go become a practitioner. Isn't that marvelous? So let's get back to this now. Because prayer is now. And it's not local. I mean, it's everywhere present. Because whenever you're praying for somebody, you're absolutely sending out those vibrations, and people can feel it. You know, I mean, people actually understand how valuable prayer is. And the most important thing we can learn about prayer, being in the now, got to bring that now in here, you know, because it's got to bring now in here, in the now. Is that people feel it and they understand it, and they understand that why it's necessary. But also, if we could understand that particular now is go to prayer first. Some people say, well, you know, everything else didn't work, so I decided to pray. Wow. Everything would have worked had we prayed first. Prayer is always to go to, and that's always in the now. It always comes with all the possibilities. And I was listening to the practitioner, to Anne, is that right? Yeah. And the 91st song, I was hidden somewhere in that 91st song out there in my now. Kelly had to come get me. Where's Kelly at? Kelly, where's that? That's Kelly. Kelly, I was coming to my stagecoach with my horses, and Kelly was saying, over here, over here. You know, my horses were trying to, they was having a hard time, because remember, we came from Spokane, right? So, you know, my horses was having a hard time. Come to Spokane, and Kelly, she had the flag, over here, over here. And also I bring humor with me, because you know what, I think that with humor we can get through it. We have to find a way to laugh. We really have to find a way to laugh, because laughter keeps you in the now. You know, since we want to bring now into everything, you know, laughter keeps you in the now. But the wonderful thing about this time of year, again, is a possibility. Because what I'm visualizing spring. Anybody else visualizing spring up in here? And I was just, the other day, I just had a full frontal picture of the tulips. And I was, oh my God, you know, and I can't wait to see a daffodil, because a daffodil to me is the sign of eternity that I made it through winter. Anybody got any daffodils that I can come and see? So you know that winter is over. So I'm visualizing the tulips, because I know with the tulips come what? The daffodils. And another story, you know why I love tulips? I grew up in Florida. They don't grow there, okay? I'm a Floridian. And I would see the tulips in the National Geographic. Anybody grew up in National Geographic? I did. I got to travel the world. Did you get to be in the now in all those places? In all the places around the world. And then my children, we had the atlas, and my youngest son has spent his lifetime, at least 15 years of his life, traveling around the world. And National Geographic does that for you, because what it does is set that bug for travel. Because he who travels, it changes their consciousness, it changes their life. You can't travel and see the world and then come back and be the same person. Because you're going to see the spirit of the Most High and all the different kinds of people, and a different kind of hospitality. You know, I mean, they say, oh, these people were poor, right? They weren't poor in spirit. They wasn't poor in generosity. Sometimes you think that people are poor, but they're so gracious. Some of the time, the most gracious people you've ever met absolutely was willing to give you their last piece of bread. You find those kind of people around the world. And the National Geographic will set you on fire like it did for me. So when I moved to Pacific Northwest and I could see a real tulip, oh my goodness. So, they are really beautiful, aren't they? Yeah? And they go up to Skagit and to see the tulips, and it's like, so I'm visualizing when that now comes. It won't be long. See, it won't be long, because one thing about winter, in some ways, I'll take that back a little bit, because you know, summer never lasts as long as winter. Have you ever figured that out? Yeah. I mean, I did the divine, but what happened there? Why doesn't summer last as long as winter? It doesn't. So we're visualizing here with me. Just go down that. How many here have gone up to Mount Vernon? Oh yeah, isn't it wonderful there? No? Just don't go on the weekend. So you won't be frustrated. Go on a Monday, because everybody else got to go back to work. When I had my nursing home business, I had nursing homes up there that I served, so I just love that area. You know, really, Washington State is a wonderful state. I mean, it's so beautiful in all the different places. And you know, one thing about travel, since we're talking about travel right now, is what it does for children. You know, I believe that a lot of the chaos that we have in some of these places in Seattle and around the country is that children are not traveling enough. You got to take them someplace. I mean, if you just take if you take young people from Seattle who's never been to Squamish Falls and on up past the path and over to Ellensburg, you didn't get to Palouse Country. I know it's nobody over here in here ever been to Palouse Country. What? You got, well, I'm not going to say you might be a cougar, but I won't say that. But when you go to Palouse Country, the scenery is so different. And if you go to the Okanagan, so if you want to change the world, take children to travel early. I believe that actually it opens their heart for compassion. It pricks their mind, it pricks their heart also for compassion. But also it opens all the places that they've seen in the beauty. And that Creator has different beauty in every place. Once I was part of a conference up at Alberta, Canada. And you know, people from Seattle, it's just Washington State, we just have this idea there's nothing in the world beautiful, you know. We have everything here. We got Mount Rainier, we got the Olympics, we got Lakes Washington, the Sound. Excuse me. Where else can anything place else to be more beautiful? Where? Well, I tell you, when you go up to Alberta, and you find it's just beautiful. It really is. I went up to a conference and I said, wow, it's just, what travel does, it just opens you up. And I think if we could do more for children to be able to do that. So, but basically, I just wanted to like I said, I had my great adventure. What adventure does, it just opens your heart, and it actually centers you in some way, because you got to find peace in the midst of this adventure. So once you find the peace in the midst of the adventure, you can get clarified. You can just be calm, because Kelly was coming. She says, "You in a white car?" I said, "Yes." She says, "Over here." So Kelly was the guide that the Creator sent. You know, God always sends an angel for you. Do you know that? I mean, sometimes I have this way I live it. Sometimes I go and buy more stuff than I need, maybe, and I need somebody to help me take it upstairs. I sit in my car in the garage and I wait for the angel to come. And the person don't know they're my angel, but I do. And I say, "Oh, can you help me?" You know, somebody always wants to help you if you ask for help. But you know, you gotta ask for help, see. But somebody's always there. So Kelly was the angel this morning as I was going through my adventure. And she was kind, and angels are always kind. Have you ever had an angel to show up when you needed one? I know you've had angels to show up in here. Yeah. My life has been full of angels. My first angel, when I was 7 years old, I was walking down a railroad track and an elderly man showed up. And he said, "Baby, get off the track, the train is coming." And when I got off the track, the train was coming. And the angel saved my life. So I'm a believer of angels. Scripture says they're angels. And so I believe that we're never alone. And some of our greatest now moments on the planet, Creator has sent an angel. Someone materializes. And my son is in spirit. My oldest son passed away 17 years ago, right after my birthday. So January is the first week in January is an up and down for me. I don't write goals until maybe today. I write my goals and my intentions for the year. January 1st is my grandson's birthday. He's 16 this year. He died. He was born the year after my son died. My birthday is January 4th, And my son died the day after my birthday. So obviously I have an up and down week. But one of the things that gets me through this is that I just understand that we're all travelers. We're all here for a certain amount of time, and that's it. And so we get back to these now moments. One of the things that I did when I was taking care of my son, I wrote this affirmation that every moment is a gift. Because if we understood that every moment is a gift, we would run our lives differently. So many times when we hang up the phone or we talk to somebody, it was the last time, or when we heard somebody say, wow, I talked to that person yesterday. So if every moment is a gift. I had the opportunity to take care of my son for a semester of care before he passed away. And I had the privilege of being with him when he took his first breath and when he took his last breath. So all those moments were gifts. And the gifts within the possibility of life, there's always a possibility for people not living as long as we had hoped for them to live, for us not being able to say goodbye to our loved ones or we get a phone call. But in all of that is that every moment is a gift. So I'd like to leave and like to close this morning with you visualizing, just going in and taking a minute to visualize every moment is a gift and what that might feel like for you as you take that with you, that gift of time, that gift of presence, that gift of just saying, hello, how are you doing today? I just wanted to be with you, just wanted to say just something to let you know I care about you. So let's just take a minute to think about every moment being a gift. Thank you so much. Bless you and bless your moments after moment after moment. And may you have a fantastic year. May your search be wonderful for your new pastor that's already in potential, already knowing that that pastor is going to come. And may it just be wonderful for you here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Jesus
Peter Kirkland, what a joy always when he's in